Hi, welcome back to our drawing series. Right now we're working with AutoCAD. We're using the 2012 edition at our school, and I'm showing you how to create the exercise 6-2 drawing. So goes along with our tutorial we have in our workbook, our textbook. So as you got it, we're going to go through and we're going to take a good look at it. Now I'm just going to go up to open, and I'm going to open up the file. Now our files are kept on our shared drive. Instead of having to pass out one of the discs from the books to every kid, we copied the files to the shared drive. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to the shared drive, Benson, Pre-Engineering AutoCAD Exercises, and then there we'll go to Exercise 6-2. Open it up. Yes, it is read-only, so we just go yes because we're going to open it anyway. And now I'm going to turn off the grid because it's just annoying to me. I don't use the grid for any of my assignments, so I'm just going to get rid of it. Now the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom to all, so I center my drawing on the page and I have the whole thing showing. So what I've got here is this is going to be a gasket. So this is one of the bolt holes. There'll be another one over here just like it, and a larger ring through the middle. So I'm going to make that. If you look at exercise 6-2 in the text, figure 6-5 shows you what it should look like. 6-6 shows you what it should look like when it's done. So I'm going to start with it. So I'm going to start with a circle, and I'm going to put it in the center here. Now if my running O snap, which is on, wasn't, I could hold the shift key down and right click and pick center here. That still allows me to get in the center of that circle, and then I can drag it out and tell it that I want a radius on this of 0.875. There's my circle. Okay, so that's the first circle I need. Now next to this I need another circle, so I'm going to identify a point, ID. I'm going to ID the center, and I just type in cen of this circle. Then I'm going to tell it to do another circle that's at minus 2.875, in other words 2.875 or 2 7/8 inches to the left of that point, comma, and I'm going to go 0 because I don't want to go up or down at all. Okay, there it is. Now that circle right there is going to be a 1-inch radius circle. So I've got a 2-inch diameter circle there. Okay, now I'm going to do another circle in the center of this one, so I do cen again, right here. Just pull that out. Get it roughly sized, and then that is supposed to be a diameter, so I type D for diameter for center, of 3.75 inches. There's my circle. Now the only thing I have left to do is to attach a couple lines here and do some trimming and a little filleting. So watch what I do here. I'm going to do a line. I'm going to attach it right here to the quadrant. If my quadrant doesn't pop up like that, the snap to it, I can hold my shift key down, right click, and go quadrant right there. Just grab onto it. I drag a line straight over. Now make sure I go 180 degrees, not tipped at all. It's dead on the flat horizontal axis, or my x-axis in this drawing. Drag it right out here into the circle and click. Once I've got that, I hit my enter key. I'm done with this. I'm going to use the offset command now. So I go O for offset. I'm going to offset the distance from the end point of that line, which is the quadrant, all the way down here to this quadrant. Again, I can use my shift to get both quadrants. Now once I've selected that distance, I can select this line, and as long as I'm below it, it doesn't matter if I'm clear over here, as long as I am below that line, it will copy it to the bottom side of itself, like so. There's the start of my gasket. Now, I will do one more thing before I move on. I'm going to mirror right now this circle, and these two lines. Now I'm using a crossing option. What that does is this. See the dotted line? Anything that dotted line in that green area encloses or touches will be selected. I don't have to actually touch each line individually. I can do this option. If I go the other direction, it's a selection window, and it only selects what is completely enclosed in the blue. So I'm using the crossing option because I don't want to try to get all the way in here and end up getting only part of it. So I'm just going to get right there so I get both circles and both of those lines. I click, I hit my enter key. Now it's asking me, if you look down here on the line, first point of the mirror line. Well, I want the center of this circle to be my first point. So I'm going to come right down here. There's the center. Click. I drag straight up on the y-axis. Now I'm not getting what I want. If I hit my F8 button or my ortho lock, that locks me in so I can only go straight up or down or straight right and left. There it is. That's exactly what I want it to look like when I'm done. I click once. Now if I look right down here in my command line, it says erase source file. It defaults to no, which I don't want it to erase. So I'm going to say yes, I accept the no. There it is. The last thing I have to do is go trim. So I just type in trim or TR, enter once. Now if I hit enter again, everything becomes a cutting edge. So everything I pick will trim back to the nearest intersection, like so. So I'm just going to trim this out so it looks about like that. Now the last thing I have to do is attach fillets to these corners. Now fillet is just a radius line. So I go F enter, which is fillet. And I'm going to do a radius of 0.75, which right now it's already at, or if it wasn't, I could just type in 0.75 and enter. And I just pick the arc and the line, and then it leaves the command. If I hit my space bar, I go back in, line, arc, space bar, arc, line, space bar, line, arc. Okay, gotta get the arc, Benson. There you go. So that's my completed drawing. I just have to, like I showed you before, put my name on it, my school, the date, the grade, the drawing title, and the class, which I can do that with the copy command or with the text command, which we haven't shown you the text command yet, so we might as well show it to you now. I'm going to use the dtext. I'm just regular text. Dtext allows me to type multiple lines of text, but they still are individual pieces. So I'm just going to dtext, and starting point is going to be right there. Okay, and angle-wise, height I'm going to leave alone, which height right now, if you look in the bottom right or left corner of our command line, height is set at 0.125 inches. That's fine with me. And rotation angle is 0. That's great with me. Now I just have to type. So I'm just going to lock my cap locks and type in my name, school, date in our case is September, so it's 9. We're going to call it 18/2013. My grade, well, if I had a grade, I'd be a super senior, but we'll call it faculty. Okay, you can type in whatever you want. Okay, we'll go senior or 12th. Okay, whatever. Okay. All right, so I put the class name in there. Class date. This class is class A4 or B4 because we're on a block schedule. We have 4 periods each day. We do 8 classes total. And then the drawing is a gasket, G-A-S-K-E-T. Whoop, I fat fingered it. I fat fingered it again. There we go. Hit enter twice and I'm done, and then all I have to do is go use the move command, which is M, and I can move these right to where I want them to be. Turn off my ortho lock so I can set them right where they need to be. That really and truly is all it takes. Thank you for your time.